One of the question is how many lives we live. Well, suppose we live billions of trillions of lives, because material time, although it has limited cycles, but it's infinite compared to even life of universe. And spiritual time is even more infinite because it has a spiritual nature. So for our spiritual existence, our material billions of life, just like a blink of an eye. Think of this. So we've already been in this world for billions of lives. We already changed so many different bodies. We've been man, woman, poor, rich. And what is the purpose of this life? Is to stop this material game called physical material life based on principle of exploitation, enter to the internal plane of consciousness, and go to exist in the spiritual world, your true homeland. So we always feel that there's something lacking in this world. We always feel that this world is not meant for us, and especially when we suffer. And this is the truth, because we're part of spiritual reality, we're part of conscious world. How you transfer? Through hearing about spiritual world, through chanting divine names of Krishna, the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, and to associate with devotees of Krishna. Of course, when associate with devotees of Krishna, you naturally ask, what will I do? Number one, you start hearing and you start follow ethical principles of life. No animal kill, no harming others, being kind, compassionate. These are the qualities which you naturally will develop as you're going towards spiritual life. And of course, the most principle is to hear from devotees about pastimes of Krishna, the qualities of Supreme Lord and great devotees of past and future. And why is that so? Because hearing about divine things will make you perfect. Believe it or not, people going for different classes, they buy self-motivational books, and they try to motivate themselves, to do even material life, to believe in themselves, etc. However, once you start hearing about Krishna, once you start hearing from Vedic sources about great saints and great devotees, naturally all the quality of goodness will come to your heart. And this is amazing, because if you hear the news, you're not becoming a perfect person. You actually become confused and scared. But if you hear about Krishna, if you hear from Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrita, the divine holy scriptures, you'll be able to transform and change your perception, your vision, your consciousness. The news will not change your consciousness, but the divine news will totally change yourself. So therefore, try not to waste so much time with what is going on around us. Try to understand that the only person you can change is yourself. Now, we're talking about self-help, how you help yourself. Number one, if we could become perfect by ourselves, we would have become perfect billions of lives ago. Everybody become great, connecting with something greater than him or someone greater than him. Therefore, in every sport, in every science, there are teachers. They might be physical teachers or teachers from the book that wrote great books. And actually, it's both. It's the physical teachers that teach us. I will also tell you about the great scientists or great persons who achieved something in the past. So connecting with the great spiritual masters and previous spiritual masters, you acquire spiritual knowledge into your heart. Spiritual knowledge can affect your mind and purify your mind, but really true spiritual knowledge comes to the level of the soul. It will penetrate your spiritual heart. So hearing from Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, will give you innumerous spiritual knowledge. And what is that spiritual knowledge? Number one, you are a spiritual soul, you're eternal being. You're not physical body. You're not man or woman. You are eternal spiritual being that take different forms and different reincarnation. Get your virtual three-dimensional avatar in this fully a virtual material world. But being spiritual soul, you will never be fulfilled in this world, just like a fish. If you pull out fish from ocean, from water, whatever you offer to the fish, gold or any forms of happiness, the fish just want one thing, to come back to its own environment. So the soul needs to come back to the spiritual environment. And of course, partially, you can create that spiritual environment with a spiritual minded people and a community. But fully a spiritual environment will be realized through your own spiritual consciousness. When you purify your consciousness through chanting, meditation, and follow the good deeds for the satisfaction of Supreme Lord, then your consciousness will be purified. Then your understanding of spiritual reality will be strong. Right now, we have very vague perception what spiritual world is like, what soul is like, because we don't have that experience. So through meditation, through chanting, through practicing bhakti yoga, we can get that experience.